Sadie stole his dog. She jumps onto him like a koala climbing a tree, and he carries her out of there. This ruined my day. Hi, welcome to or back to my channel. My name's Annie, and this is my cozy fall reading vlog. I wanted to set out on a bit of a journey to figure out if I really like cozy books. I often find that I love the idea of them, but when I actually read them, something goes wrong for me and I don't end up liking them, which is sad. Seeing as now it's fall, I decided that I would read four, I think it's four, I already filmed it, 4 different cozy books to really test and figure out what I think about the genre. I pulled from kind of different but similar cozy styles. So I'll just quickly tell you which books I'm going to be reading. I started with The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic, which is a kind of cozy small town contemporary romance. Then I read Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldree, which I was so excited about. It's the sequel to Legends and Lattes, which was a very popular book. Honestly, maybe during the pandemic, it could have been 2020 or 2021. And this is a prequel story to that. It's like a cozy little slice of life type of book set in a small coastal town. I read the first volume of Witch Hat Atelier, which I am going to continue reading, spoiler alert. It's super cute and I thought it would be a great little fall manga that I could read. And finally, I read The Pumpkin Spice Cafe, which is a book that has been super popular this fall. It's another contemporary romance, cozy fall type of book. So you'll see. You will see what the verdict is. I have read all the books, and this video is super interesting. There were interesting books read and interesting times had. Anyway, I'll let you go. Enjoy the video. Hi, I have a little like baby update. I started The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic by Brianne Randall on audio. I think I'm about 5% in and it's fine so far. I honestly was just looking for an audiobook to read for this vlog because I am currently reading another physical book. I'm basically just trying to get a head start. And I thought the more cozy books I can read, the better. So I started this one. I didn't notice that its Goodreads rating was so low. It's a 3.21, and that's from almost 35,000 reviews. It's not looking great. I think there was another one I really wanted to read. Oh, I wanted to read Rewitched because I saw a booktuber recommend it. I wish I could remember who. But everything simply had holds, and fair enough because it's fall season. So far in this book, we've got our main character, what's her name? Sadie. And she's living in this small town that I guess is like kind of magical, and she's running a magical like bakery, which the setting is really reminding me of Bells for Forgetting by Alex E. Farrow? Might be getting the author's name wrong. And the town in that book has a really great vibe. And that main character is like a tea specialist with magical brews, and it's a family business and all this stuff. So it's kind of like very similar at the outset, but I'm liking this one less. I just don't think it's atmospheric enough for me so far. I want more like descriptions of the town and stuff like that. But right off the bat, it's kind of like there's a lot happening. So she wakes up in the morning and she's going to work and she sees all these like bad omens, and apparently when there's like 7 bad omens in a row, a nightmare is coming. Don't know what that means, but she gets 7 bad omens in a row. Her brother is away somewhere and she blames herself for him leaving, and she believes that she has a curse on her when it comes to love, but also she like really wants to fall in love. Like that is like the things she wants more than anything. From what I understand, she believes this because her magic was off twice after, like, once after her first love and her broke up, and then the second time after, like, her second breakup. And it took a long time for her magic to get back to normal, and her first love had just returned to town. So we'll see. If that sounded a bit scattered, it's because honestly I don't know exactly what's happening yet. I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel about it. The rating on Goodreads, I wish I could say that doesn't matter to me, but it is kind of informing how critical I might be of this book. I feel like that I'm being biased, but I can't lie. Like, when I see a bad rating on Goodreads, I do kind of trust the masses. So we'll see. I will keep you guys updated. Sorry, I know the camera quality is probably not like amazing because this is a little bit dark, but I wanted to do a quick check-in. I'm about halfway through The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic, and it's fine. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. There are some things that are a bit weird. As I've mentioned, I don't know if cozy books are really for me. I usually find them a little bit lacking in substance, specifically with character relationships, which I feel like is kind of not something that you would think when you hear of cozy books. Like, you're like, okay, well, there's not that much going on in the plot, so character relationships can really develop. But oftentimes what I've found is that they don't find characters or their relationships with each other super fulfilling when I'm reading a cozy book. And I have to say that this trend is kind of continuing with The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic. We have our main character, Sophie? Nope, that's a different book. Sadie. We have our main character, Sadie, and she likes this guy, Jake, that she dated like 10 years ago when she was 18. And he's back in town, and their relationship is starting to like develop again, but he has no defining characteristics aside from the fact that she already likes him because they dated. You know, like, it feels like the book is relying a bit too much on the fact that they already know each other rather than making them do any work to like get to know each other again. And we don't really know much about Jake as a character. He's a firefighter. That's cool. We know why he moved. Oh my god. I'm gonna spoil this book. I'm sorry if you don't want to be spoiled for this book, but for this book in particular, it's gonna be a spoiler vlog. I apologize, but I don't think I like it enough to not spoil it, if that makes sense. What he just did is crazy. There's a couple things that are crazy so far with the two of them. So first off, Sadie stole his dog. Basically, she found this dog one day. It's a cute little chocolate lab puppy. I love chocolate labs. I used to have one. She named it Bambi and took it in. And then she heard Jake in the forest like a day later or something calling out for Chief, which was like the dog's given name. And she knows this, and she knew it was Jake calling for it. She kept the dog. She just kept it. And that's crazy. That's just crazy behavior. I'm really sorry. What? She kidnapped a dog? Pardon? And then he finds out, and he's just like, oh, that's so cute. And it's still at her house. Like, he's just like, you gonna let me take my dog home? And she's like, we'll see. And the dog's still there. I'm so confused. How could anyone be like, oh, you have my dog. Isn't that so cute? Oh, and you wanted to stay with, okay, cool. What? So that was crazy. I don't understand. What? How is this behavior being condoned? And also, he kept trying to like tell her something. Jake kept trying to talk to Sadie, and she kept being like, oh, I have too much else going on. I don't want to hear more bad news. I called it. I literally called it. I was like, he has a girlfriend. He's got a whole ass fiance. A whole fiance. They haven't kissed. but he's like, you know, grabbed her waist and pulled her in really close and been like, do you know what you do to me? And all that stuff. No, ew, that's cheating. In my opinion, that's cheating. It's emotional cheating for sure. And he basically got this woman pregnant, realized he was still in love with Sadie after 10 years, and decided that he was still gonna marry this woman and raise the kid because he wants to like do the right thing. But he decided then that he wanted to move out of the city where he was because it was too dangerous of a place to raise a kid. And his girlfriend was like, oh, let's go to like the place that makes you feel most like home. And he was like, I didn't think of a place, I thought of you. And so he's moving his new family next door to her. I hate him. I hate him. That's so selfish, and that's so messed up. If I was a kid, I would much rather my parents not be together because they aren't in love, rather than my dad trying to force himself to be with my mom just because he thinks it's the right thing to do for me. I don't like that. Maybe that's just me, but I don't like it, and it's making me really not like him. So I can't say support the romance happening at all. The rest of the book is fine. Sadie's got some pretty clear trust issues, and we get we really know that she has trust issues because it's telling us over and over and over and over again, and we know why she has trust issues. And there's this thing where she has this curse, and the curse is like, you're gonna have 4 heartbreaks in your life, and each one is gonna dwindle your magic. And we already she thinks that she's been through 2 heartbreaks because of Jake and then this other guy. I think she's already had 4, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen, and it's pretty obvious. First one is her mom leaving her when she was a kid. That would be one. Second would be Jake. The third would be this other guy that she dated. The fourth one was her brother, who also left. So she's all like, oh, I can't date. I can't love anyone. Can't let myself love anyone because my magic's gonna go away. And she is like obsessed with having magic. And I swear she's already on her 4th one. Anyway, lots of other crazy stuff is happening. Her grandma has cancer and is gonna die soon, which is crazy and really sad. The whole family just came to the house to like support her grandma. It turns out her grandma killed her dad because he was evil, and her brother are products of our word, which is also crazy. And also, her and her brother have no reaction to this. Her grandma tells them all this, and their only reaction is like, what, you killed our dad? And I'm like, yes, but did you not catch the part where he did that to your mother? Surely that would inspire some sort of complicated feelings in you. But no, they're just like, I can't believe you killed our dad. That is so crazy. And yes, that is crazy, but let's think about both things. Anyway, there's lots going on. Despite this rant, I'm not like hating it. There's this cute thing where there's like, at the end of every chapter, they put in a little recipe. That's cute. But I just don't. I would never give this like over a 3-star. I'm finding it entertaining because I'm a little bit like, what kind of tomfoolery is gonna happen next? Because there's been a lot that's happened, and I'm only halfway through, but it's just a little bit messy. I'm wanting relationships to be a bit more developed. I would love a bit more nuance. I don't feel like the reader is so dumb as to have every reason for why Sadie has so much trust issues like spelled out for us. And that is one of my pet peeves, especially lately. I feel like it's becoming more and more present in books when everything is spelled out and there's no faith put in the reader. I'm like, I swear I'm literate and I can figure out what's going on. Don't worry. So yeah, that's my update. I guess we'll see how things go. I'll update you guys when I finish it, I think. Hi, it's kind of been a minute. I think it's been a couple days, maybe a week. So I have lots to update you guys on. I did finish The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic. It wasn't really for me. It was kind of like messy almost. Like there was just too much happening. And she never gave his dog back, if anyone was wondering. She never gave it back. And they got together. I didn't like their romance, first of all. I think I mentioned this in the last clip, but it was just relying on the fact that they had been together when they were younger as like a reason that we should like him. I don't I don't really get it. He didn't really have much personality to speak of. Also, the spice was like really out of place. Like, there was no explicit like scenes, but whenever they kissed, it got kind of like steamy, and it would be like really short but steamy, and it just felt out of place with the rest of the book, which felt very like PG. I don't know. And overall, it just, I don't know. I finished it, but I didn't really enjoy it. I honestly don't really have too much more to say about it. It just really was not for me. But next on audio, I did start Bookshops and Bone Dust, which is the prequel to Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree, and I'm really liking it so far. My first cozy book for the vlog was kind of a fail. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5, I think. But Bookshops and Bone Dust, I'm really liking so far. I think this has a lot to do with the fact that it's a book about books. I am obsessed with that stuff. Like, when people in books love reading, I'm like, you get me. Even though they're not real people, I just love that. Our main character from Legends and Lattes is this like fighting orc named Viv, and she's very like go tough girl type of thing. And in this prequel, she is kind of just starting out on her career, but her leg gets injured during a fight, and the leader of her little like, I don't know, mercenary gang is kind of like, hey, like, you gotta go heal up, go rest, because that leg is only gonna slow us down. We're gonna drop you off at this little town by the seaside. We'll come back in a couple weeks and we'll come get you. And Viv hates resting, but she starts to get around this like little seaside town, and she likes it, and she's like meeting all these different characters, and then she meets this bookshop owner that gives her a book and like makes some bet with her to read it, because obviously Viv is like, what? I only like fighting. Why would I sit down and read? And then she loves the book, and now she's kind of helping the bookshop owner get the shop like more business. So it's really cute so far. I liked Legends and Lattes. I wasn't like obsessed with it, but I liked it for what it was, and I kind of think I like this one better, although it has been a while since I read the first one. There's lots going on in this too, but it feels very like cohesive. I think that was my thing with The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic, is it didn't feel like all these little parts we were getting went together. And oh my god, I forgot to mention, like, the curse that she had at the beginning did not even matter at the end. Like, her heartbreak curse, it didn't matter. So that was irrelevant. Anyway, there's all these little characters. Like, there's the guy that works at the like inn/bar where Viv is staying. There's this other person that wants to be an adventurer that just like won't leave Viv alone because she wants to get into like her crew. And there's a mysterious, potentially evil stranger. Like, I don't know, I'm really liking it, and it's cozy and cute. I wouldn't say it's necessarily fall cozy. It's kind of almost like summer cozy, which I never would think would be a thing in books, but yeah, because it's like by the beach. I don't know, it's really cute. And then today I started the Pumpkin Spice Cafe on my Kindle. Also, look, I've been putting stickers on. I need more, but I have these like little stickers with a dog sitting on the laptop because that's what my dog tries to do sometimes. She's too big to sit on the laptop, but she'll like get in your face when you're trying to do work. She'll wag her tail, like, and I'll type on all the keyboard keys. And then I have these little dogs making soup. And on the back I have this sticker that I got from the American Rapture tour, and it says, "Forgive me, Father." So yeah, I need more stickers, but I've been reading it on my Kindle. I literally just started it this morning. I'm like 50 pages in, and it's fine. I really don't know what I'm gonna think about this one. It's by someone named Lori Gilmore, which I feel like has to be a pen name, because I feel like she's trying to create a Gilmore Girls type of atmosphere in this town, and I don't know if she's been successful yet. It's good. It's fine. It's fine. I think I can be really picky with grammar and stuff like that, and punctuation, and it's hard for me to ignore it. I know it's a little snobby, but like, I have an English lit degree, and it really does get to me and distract me. And this girl, Lori Gilmore, does not know where to put commas and how to use them. And it was in like the first paragraph of the book. there's a comma where there didn't need to be. Like, she'll say something like, it was a cozy fall day, right? And then she'll put a comma, and then she'll put a comma after cozy, and it just doesn't have to be there. And then there was one part recently that I read, maybe like 30 or 40 pages in, where she didn't have a comma, and then I was confused and I had to read the sentence like a couple times to get it. So I don't know, that's like such a little thing, and I might still really like the book. It just gives me a bad first impression, but I know that this book is really popular, and I've been wanting to read it this fall because it's so popular. So I don't know. Basically, in the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, we're following this girl named Jeannie. I don't like her. She is supposed to be 28, but she honestly behaves like she's maybe 14. I hope that she'll grow on me. I don't know that she will. And we open the book on this scene of her like sneaking towards her front door. Basically, she inherited this cafe from her grandmother who wanted to go on a vacation. So like went to the Maldives or somewhere. So Jeannie moved into the like apartment above the cafe, and she's gonna run it in this little small town in Dream Harbor called the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. And so she lives above it, but she keeps hearing this sound at night. So she comes downstairs with like a baseball bat, and it turns out it's just this guy there that is delivering some gourds. And he's cute, and he's a farmer, and he's got a beard. And I also, this is like, I'm just a little bit too picky lately, guys. I don't know what it is. I've been kind of in a slump, and I think that's also actually made me extra picky, because I'm like, I need to find something that I'm gonna love to read. But when they're describing that they're attracted to each other, like in her chapter, she's like, I'm definitely not thinking about how luscious his beard is, and how he's got these amazing blue eyes, and how he's like, they're twinkling. Like, I'm definitely not thinking about that. And then it's like each chapter switches, so it's like her perspective, then his. And then in his chapter, he's like, I'm definitely not thinking about her bright smile and her messy bun. And I'm like, can we just say that you find her attractive? Like, I don't know. I think I'm getting a little too easily annoyed. She used the same thing for both of them as well, like just didn't feel very creative. But anyway, his name is Logan. He's a farmer. He's kind of like gruff, and he's had his heart broken. He falls hard and fast, and he's been burned too many times, and the town is always in his business. Does that remind you of anyone? Luke Danes. I don't know. I feel like it is simply Gilmore Girls. I'm not complaining because I love Gilmore Girls, but my judgment, I would say it's suspended, but I'm starting to judge. I'm not like in love with it so far. Although I will say it's pretty fast and easy to read. Like, I started today, read for maybe half an hour, and I'm like 50 pages in, which is really fast. I'm not normally that fast. And the chapters are short, so that's good. So far we've had a little town meeting, which is also like making more Gilmore Girl vibes, because it turned out he wasn't causing the sound behind her house. Like, it's got to be something else. I will say I do like Logan. He dropped by her house and was like, here, I have earplugs for you so you can sleep, because I know you haven't been sleeping because of the noise, and I'll put a lock on your door. And I'm like, oh, I want someone to do that sort of stuff for me, you know? So yeah, I'm liking Logan. Things are like a little bit cliche, but I'm liking all the little characters that we're meeting in the town. I think it has potential. I think I judged it too harshly at first, but I'm still judging it. Ugh. I just don't like Jeannie. She's reading way too young and like silly for me. So I don't know. And she was supposed to be like an executive assistant, like corporate person at her last job. So I'm kind of like, I think I just need to read more, and then I'll see what I think. I will update you guys when I've made some progress.
Oh, is it me?
Yeah. Please stop. Hi, I have a little update. I think I'm gonna crochet while I talk to you guys. In case you didn't know, I crochet. I'm trying to make a bolero right now. I've crocheted for like a couple years, honestly, but I have only completed one project ever. If that tells you anything about how good I am at following through on projects, I figured I will crochet because it's kind of cozy. And also I started this last night and I'm kind of committed to it. Right now for my bolero, all I have is this like long line. I chained something like 260 stitches for my wingspan basically. And now I am doing some crochets. I don't know if you care, but I did finish 2 things. First, actually, I will hold up for a second, Witch Hat Atelier Volume 1. I have the second volume here, but I haven't started it yet. I got them both from the library. This is super cute. So basically, this is about a girl named Coco. There she is. I feel like she's probably like 10, maybe 11. I can be kind of bad at like telling who is what age in books, but she seems pretty young. And Coco is basically obsessed with magic. She is like, oh my god, that is the coolest thing ever. And she's super sad because in her world, people have to be born witches. And when she was a kid, she and her mom went to this like party at the palace in their town. She met this guy that was honestly kind of shady looking. He was wearing like a big eyeball mask. Wait, let me see if I can show you. Yeah, okay, so it's this guy right here. She met him at this party at the castle when she was younger. I'm gonna say she was like 7 or something at the time. He was like, hey, do you want to buy this book about magic? And she was like, what's magic? And he was like, it's everything that makes the world beautiful. It's why the stones under your feet are glowing, blah, blah, blah. And she buys this book, and then her mom's so annoyed. She's like, what? You bought a book? I thought you were gonna buy some like nice little treats with the money I gave you. And Coco's like, no, I got a book about magic and it's gonna teach me magic. And look, he threw in this wand that's like a pen as well. And you're reading it and you're like, oh, Miss Girl, it looks like you got scammed. And her mom is like, oh, honey, you have to be born a witch. You can't just become one. And so Coco's really sad, right? And this is like Coco's origin story. Like, she is just so sad that she can't be a witch because she thinks magic is like the coolest thing ever. So she and her mom run a little atelier, like a little like dressmaking business or like a tailor in their little small town. And there's not lots of magic in their small town, but they do see, like, when people come from bigger cities, they see magical apparati. There's these big flying carriages, for instance, that people use. And Coco's still obsessed. She's still sad about magic. The fact that she can't do it. One day, some of the tailor's clients come by in a flying carriage, and Coco's like, oh my god, cool. But when they try to leave, it's kind of broken down. And another customer is like, oh, I can fix it. I'm a wizard. This is him, Wizard Keyfrey. Slay. Coco's like, oh my god, this is so cool. You can use our workshop. And he's like, okay, Coco, like, please help me out. I need you to guard the door so that no one can see what I'm doing in there. And Coco's like, oh, like, yes, I wanted to help, but I really wanted to see magic. So she sneaks a little peek and some secrets are revealed. I'm not really gonna say much more than that, but this is so cute. It's also such a good manga for fall. Like, it's very cozy, whimsical fairy tale. I think this one is still ongoing. Oh, why is this so hard? Maybe this is why I never finished my crochet projects. Okay, I got it. Sorry, I was trying to get my crochet hook into this stitch and I made the stitch too tight, so I couldn't do it. I thought this was super cute. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I don't know if it's ongoing. I think it is though. From what I understand, there's like 13 or 14 volumes out right now, and I think I will continue. I'm glad I have the second one. And I just think it's so cute. Also, the illustrations are just fantastic. Especially the first one has like a colored page at the very beginning. Look how stunning that is. And apparently the author or the mangaka, Kamomi Shirahama, I hope I said that right, also did some illustrations for DC and Marvel comics. But yeah, I just thought it was really cute. Like, there's definitely a plot that's going to be progressing. Spoiler alert, Coco's gonna learn some magic, but I'm pretty sure that You could guess that. I'm excited to see where it's gonna go. In other news, I did finish Bookshops and Bone Dust just today, and I really liked it. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. I think I liked it better than Legends and Lattes, although I kind of want to reread Legends and Lattes now. Travis Baldree, the author, is a audiobook narrator, and he does the narration for the audiobook of Bookshops and Bone Dust. I bet he does it for Legends and Lattes too, but don't quote me on that. And it was just like a delight. Like, it was so sweet. I thought that the book was a really good mix of like cozy aspects and an actual plot with some action in it. I really, really loved the characters. I obviously loved the bookstore setting. Maybe that was why I loved it so much. Like, any books about people reading books and discovering a love for reading, I automatically love that much more. But I thought it was just really interesting to see Viv like back in her early kind of mercenary adventurer days. I don't know. I loved it. I loved it all. I thought it was so cute. I think what I really like about it, if I can pinpoint it, is that you do really get a good sense of our main characters, and it's a very character-centered book, which I really like. Those are my favorite kinds of books, and I feel like the cozy book genre has the opportunity to really delve deep into characters, since they can tend to be a little bit lighter on plot, but I feel like most of the time they don't as much as I want them to. But Bookshops and Bone Dust definitely did. And I feel like the epilogue potentially set up for a sequel to Legends and Lattes, because this is the prequel. I think there's going to be a third book, as in the second Legends and Lattes, based on the epilogue. So I'm all for it. Like, I loved it. I'm also sorry, I feel like I'm kind of struggling to like get my ideas out in this clip. Maybe I'm doing too much with the crochet. No, I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna crochet. Other update I have is about Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I'm 55% of the way into the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I'm liking it more than I thought, but I don't know. The comma thing is really starting to annoy me. Actually, it was all the way in the beginning and it's continued. This woman, Miss Laura Gilmore, like, please do some research on how to use commas correctly. Because why? There's not commas where there should be commas, and then there's commas where there shouldn't be. And it just sometimes makes it a little bit confusing to read. And I know this is so English major, like, nitpicky of me, and maybe it doesn't bother other people, but it really bugs me, especially when sometimes I'm having to read a sentence multiple times just to understand what it's saying, because there's not a comma, or there's a comma where there shouldn't be. Like I said, that's like my biggest gripe with it right now. But I am actually liking this one more than I initially thought I would. I still don't like Jeannie, our main character. Like, I'm sorry, girl, she's too something for me. She's too like I don't know. I think what it is like she really needs to be saved all the time. And Logan, that's his name. Yeah, Logan, I think is the love interest name. He's like very much manly, like, let me fix this for you. Like, he explicitly is always like, oh my God, is there something going on with Jeannie? Let me fix it for her. That's not the way I want to be in a relationship. And that's not what I like to read. It's very like heteronormative, I guess. And I'm not obsessed with that. I kind of like Logan. I mean, he's hot, he's cool. The spice is really well written, I have to say that. Like, not too much has happened spice wise, but what we do get is really good. Like, kissing scenes, all that, written really well. I love those. I might give the second one a shot after I finish this one, this Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. I think that's probably about one of the characters that we know in this, because I heard that one was better. So I don't know. I'm liking it. It's definitely a quick read. It's definitely very Gilmore Girls. And I just feel like I gotta look up if Laura Gilmore's name is a pen name, because it has to be, because Miss Girl, like, is clearly trying to replicate Gilmore Girls. Basically, right now, Logan and Jeannie are both dealing with their past kind of baggage when they're trying to enter this new relationship. Logan has been burned in the past and the whole town is super protective of him, and Jeannie is kind of like a commitment phobe, and they're both pretty bad at communicating. So I guess we'll see where that goes. I'm not having a bad time. I'm just kind of fine, you know? And I feel like that's typically the way it is with me and cozy books. I'm like, do I care? Not really. Do I hate it? Not really. I don't know. I want a book in this vlog to inspire some like stronger emotion in me. I'm really glad I read Bookshops and Bone Dust. I was kind of tearing up at the end. I can't lie. But yeah, I'm going to finish the Pumpkin Spice Cafe and I'll update you guys when I'm done with that, and that will be the end of the vlog. Hi, so I finished the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. 1 star. It was so bad. It was so bad. I gave up trying to like it. I can't. It was so awful. Like, it actually, things got so much worse. First off, I want to take back everything I said about the spice. The spice was so bad. The first sex scene that we had changed everything. I was just skimming, and then there were several more kind of at the end, and I had to skim those too. It was just too cringe. I don't even know how to organize my thoughts. I just hated this. I hated it so much. I think this book is both objectively bad and like not the book for me. It's both. The reason I personally would not like this book, even if it was better written and the characters were more fleshed out, which I don't think that they are at all. I'll get to that in a second. The type of relationship that Jeannie and Logan have is too heteronormative for me. Like, it's just, I don't like it at all. Jeannie never fails to be annoying. I still hate her. Like, if she has no haters, I am dead. Awful. I just don't like her at all. She sucks. Logan, at first I was like, oh, he's kind of cute, has some redeeming qualities, but he becomes very much like, I have to fix everything for her. Oh my god, is Jeannie crying? That is the worst thing in the world. I have to go fix everything for her. And he's like the big strong man, and he's gonna help fix all her problems, and she's like, she will cry at the drop of a hat, and I just, like, that is their dynamic. And if you're into that, fine. I'm so not into that. There are just some scenes that make me uncomfortable with how, like, she's kind of infantilized, and I just don't, I hate that. That's like a personal thing for me. I really don't like it. It's not at all how I'd want my relationship to be. I hate it. I hate that. And they're the epitome of that kind of couple. Like, he's always like carrying her around, and she'll like, yeah, she's just crying all the time. Moving on to things that I think make this an actual bad book. I've already talked about it, but the commas are actually insane. I don't know how this is getting through multiple people, and this situation of the punctuation in this book is so bad. No more to say about that. Just so bad. The characters are so one note. Aside from the fact that I don't personally like Jeannie and Logan, they each have like one trauma. Well, I guess, okay, so like Logan technically has 2. I think his mom died and then his dad left or something, and then he was like burned by his ex Lucy, who he proposed to at the Christmas tree lighting ceremony, and she said no because she just like, it turned out she just wanted to be in a small town for a little bit and try out a new life, and then wanted to go back to the city. Okay, also, sorry, I'm getting so distracted by this. Like, why is my hair doing that? I just woke up from a nap, so maybe that's why, but it's, anyway. And then Jeannie is like, honestly, she's kind of just a mess. Like, she's a mess. She quit her job as an executive assistant after watching her, like, after she found her boss's dead body, which, okay, that's traumatic. But she's like, oh my god, what if I just work myself to death like he did? And then she becomes a small business owner. Hello? I think that is mentioned in the book. Like, she notices that, like, hey, like, that's not maybe the best choice. To me, also, that's not, like, super valid. And then she's also, like, she has no identity, and I think she's actually deeply insecure, but that's never really addressed. She's always, like, trying to figure out, she wants to be this, like, new Jeannie that's all, like, quirky, cafe owner, but she's like, oh, the old Jeannie is all boring, and there's some like really half-baked stuff at the end being like, she can be the new Jeannie and the old Jeannie, and I'm like, I don't care either way, but I don't feel like this was ever really explored. And then she just has like commitment issues, and we don't really know why. She just like doesn't commit. Actually, maybe it might be because she doesn't have a lot of faith in herself. Like, she's like worried that everything's gonna kind of crash and burn. Maybe, I don't know. I honestly didn't care enough to try to figure it out, but her character was like super just underbaked, like just concepts of an idea. Jeannie might be the character I've hated most that I've read this year, like just awful, awful stuff. So she and Logan start this. I'm gonna spoil the book, by the way. I don't care. I'm gonna spoil it, but if you care, just, I love you. Thank you for watching this video. This is gonna be the last clip. Like and subscribe. See you later. Godspeed. If you're still watching, this is what happens. So they start this like friends with benefits thing because they're super, like, they're in lust, you know? And oh my God, I highlighted this quote because I had to share it with everyone. Okay, here we go. Page 200. He couldn't seem to stop mauling this woman every time he got the chance. That's like in the lead-in to their first sex scene. And I guess it's about how he can't keep his hands off her, but that is a crazy word choice. Mauling is crazy. So the writing leaves something to be desired. But anyway, they start this friends with benefits sort of thing, and they're like, we can be casual. And this is why Jeannie is so confusing to read as well. She really likes him, and then sometimes randomly in her head, she's like, I can be cool, I can be casual, this is new Jeannie. And I'm like, no, new Jeannie, the like cozy, quirky cafe owner, would have a long-term relationship. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying because I don't understand her. Anyway, whatever. So they start this thing, and he like wants to keep it secret because the town's always in his business and they're super overprotective of him, and he was heartbroken last year. Okay, we get it. He had a breakup and it was tough. I get it. Sometimes it's hard to move on, but honestly, this woman, Lucy, is mentioned so much. I'm surprised that we didn't meet her. So they start doing that. Then one day she's like at his farm, and they're like about to hook up in his room, and his grandpa knocks on the door, and he like basically throws her off him. And she gets like super sad about it and starts crying. And she's like, no, everything's fine. Don't worry, I'm fine. And then they don't talk for a little bit. And then he's like, hey babe, sorry, I want to make it official. And she's like, oh my God, that would be so great. So at the fall festival, he holds her hand in public. And then as soon as he holds her hand, she's like, what if I'm not ready for a relationship? I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry. You were just crying about how this man doesn't want to be seen with you and seems embarrassed of you. And as soon as he shows you a sign of affection in public, you're like, you know what? Actually, I'm not really sure about this. What? I actually wanted to tear my hair out. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. I don't know why I care so much. Like, this ruined my day. Also, suddenly that's resolved. Like, she doesn't even really talk about it with him. She resolves it in her head. Why? How? It took 5 minutes. I don't know. Anyway, after the fall festival, they have sex for the first time, and I predicted this. I wrote this in my notes. I predicted it about I predicted it about 20 pages before it was gonna happen. I probably could have sooner, but I wasn't really like in my prediction bag. Like, I was kind of just reading and hoping it would end soon. She had been like toying with the idea of selling the cafe earlier in the book, and she had mentioned in a chapter that like she left some stuff about that like on her dining table, and I was like, he's gonna find it and he's gonna freak the fuck out because he's worried that he's just gonna be a phase for her like he was for Lucy. They have sex, they like it. I didn't. I was tapping, I was skimming, and then I went back to try to read it to see if anything important happened, or maybe I could make myself like it. No, it was so bad. We got a split chapter, so usually it's like alternating between the two characters for chapters, but this one we got, I thought it was 2 at first, but it was just like there was a break, and then It started with his perspective, then went to hers. In his perspective, it's like he doesn't want to deny his feelings anymore. He wants her. He wants to keep her. And then in her section, it's like she can see it in his eyes, how much he wants her, how he wants to keep her, how he wants to keep her here forever. And I'm like, ew, stop. It's scary. And then there's this one random line that's like, I can't be asked to look it up, and I didn't highlight it. I just wanted to forget it when I read it. He accidentally calls himself her captor. We're just gonna skate right over that because I don't want to look it up. I don't want to dive into it. And Logan scares me. He really scares me, actually. He scares me a lot. That's terrifying. If Jeannie goes missing in the later books, please, someone look in that farm. Someone look there. No, he's not supposed to be a violent man, but he's just weird. I don't like him. And he acts like he's 12. So the morning after he finds the stuff, he's like, what we did with it was a mistake. Like, we should cool it. And then rushes out there like an asshole. Like, he just leaves, right? And, oh, I forgot the best part. Right before he's about to have sex with her, he's like, oh my God, I just realized I'm in love with her. They've had 5 conversations, maybe. Hello? There's no tension in this book, too. It's just like, you're hot. You think I'm hot. And sex now. And love. She also feels like she's in love with him. But they're both like, oh my God, it's too soon to say it. So he was like gonna say he loved her. And then instead he's like, we should cool things off. Then they don't see each other for like a week. We find out who was behind all the stuff at the cafe, which I did not care about because I didn't give a fuck. Anyway, he has one conversation. This is what pisses me off too. So clearly he has abandonment issues. His friends, Annie and Hazel, who are gonna be the later book protagonists, come to his house and they're like, we have scones. And also, this is an intervention. What did you do? Then his friend, it's either Annie or Hazel, is like, you have abandonment issues. And he's like, oh my God, I do have abandonment issues. And boom, one conversation, his problems are solved. That's it. No abandonment issues anymore. He realizes he was being stupid and cruel. I don't know. I'm actually about to start crying. Yeah. Yep. So, his issues are solved in about 10 minutes. 10 minutes max of a conversation. He's like, wow, I realized that I have abandonment issues at the ripe old age of maybe 32. You know what? Now that I've realized I have them, they're gone, baby. They're fixed. No issues. I can go be with my girl. There's this horribly, horribly cheesy scene where he walks into the cafe and Jeannie's in the back taking a break and he just like yells in the cafe. Also, this man is always growling. Like, do you know that in like romance books recently or in the past, I don't know, 10 years, romance authors will have a male protagonist growling? Like, that's how he's speaking. Freaks me out. Anyway, his voice is like booming through the cafe and I'm actually terrified reading this. And he's like, Jeannie, damn it, I love you. And if you won't come out from the back, I'll just have to proclaim my love here and now. They make up in 5 seconds in the closet at her work. She jumps onto him like a koala climbing a tree. And he carries her out of there. And multiple smut scenes ensue. And then her aunt comes back from vacation. I didn't give a fuck about the aunt. She's back. And then she has her own romance scene. And I'm like, can the book just end? This is like a scene thrown in. I'm not kidding. 10 or 15 pages from the last page. Just thrown in. I didn't need that scene. I don't think anyone really did, but whatever. Cool. Glad Aunt Dot is happy, I guess, with this guy that's a psycho that ruined the cafe, by the way, but I guess we're just gonna ignore that. And then Logan and Jeannie turn into the most annoying couple you and your friends have ever been around. I can guarantee it. I'll get it out of my sight. I hated that so much. So, Okay, the verdict of this video, I feel, is that cozy books, I still wouldn't say are for me. Like, Bookshops and Bone Dust, I really loved. Witch at Atelier, I'm like, on. I'll need to read a couple more volumes. And whatever Side Effects one was bad too. It didn't, like, make me feel passionately angry in the way that the Pumpkin Spice Cafe did, but it was really bad. I really want to like cozy books and I want to find ones that work for me, but I think my main issues that I can identify are that they never have enough depth. Like, it's more just vibes, and I read for character a lot of the time, and you would almost think, like, because a book is more cozy and there might be less, like, plot going on, that character would be more explored, but it seems not to be the case. Or maybe I'm just reading the wrong ones. But thank you if you watch this all the way through. I really appreciate you, and I hope that you are enjoying whatever books you're reading this season, whether they're seasonal reads or just your mood reading. I hope you're reading something you really enjoy. Let me know if you have any books you'd like me to read, any videos you'd like to see from me. If you watched to this point, leave like some sort of follow emoji. You have creative freedom here. It could be maple syrup. Is that a maple syrup emoji? It could be a leaf. It could be anything. It could be a snowman if you're just really not into fall and you like winter. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. I hope you're having a great day or evening or whatever it is, wherever you are. Hope you're doing well, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.